Hello and welcome to Stadium Zip World here at Colwyn Bay. This is Women's International. It's the very first of its kind. Ireland taking the stage for the very first time, taking on Wales this afternoon. My name's Dave Parkinson, delighted to be alongside Stuart Pryor. Stuart, I'll come to you in just a moment, but you can help us with some of the pronunciations of some of these names.
I think I'll be getting a little bit of trouble as well. I've been practicing all week and some of them are a little bit of a tongue twister, let's say that.
So for Wales this afternoon, it's Leanne Burnell who's at fullback, Raf Taylor on one wing, Ellery Michael on the other, with Larry Norkett and Seren Goff-Walters in the centres. At halfback, Caris Marsh and Fionn Lewis. At prop forwards, it's Emily Hughes and Fionn Jones, with Molly Reardon at hooker. And then it's a back row of Bryony King, Charlie Mundy, Catherine Salter, and a bench of Rebecca Davis, Joanne Maguire, Sarah Jones and Ciara McCosh. Interesting about Ciara, she's actually played against Wales twice.
She did. She played for the Great Britain Teachers a couple of years ago down in Neath.
Yeah, scored a try that day
as well. She did, yeah. And to be fair, looking at her, she's leaned up and beefed up. You know, she's looking quite good at this moment in time.
Unfortunately, no place for Leanna Maybury and Fionn Jenkins, who were set to make their debuts this afternoon. And if we move over to the Ireland side, everyone on debut. It is a historic first test for them. So it's Fran Copley at fullback, Roisin Crowe on one wing, and Ray Lawless on the other. Betty Lambert is alongside Steph Carroll in the centres. It's Sifonia Pua,
yeah, that's good.
Sifonia Pua. And Stacey Greenwood at halfback. Sarah Lovejoy, Erin Cole, Mary Quinn, Storm Cobain, Paige Costello and Philippa Birchall making up the pack, with a bench of Iona McCusker, Amy O'Neill, Alex McGuinness and Clodagh Dunn.
And that's right. I think Philippa won't be happy. She goes around by the name of Pip.
Well, we'll call her Pip then.
That's it. And you've done well there, getting Clodagh right, and you did really well with Sifonia.
So, you're team manager for Ireland. Tell us about how this team came together.
Well, it's just through connections with the coaching staff, to be honest. As you know, I've been involved in a lot of teams over the years. Just making that step up onto the international sector. John Worley, who was the Great Britain Teachers coach, got the position of head coach for the women, and straight away he gave me a call and said, Stu, there's going to be a position going here. Do you want to apply? I wasn't gifted the position. I had to show my credentials, and fortunate for me, I was offered the position, and I'm really excited to be part of a fledgling nation with a women's team. And
I'm really pleased to have you alongside me in the commentary box, because we had a good game a couple of years ago, didn't we?
We did. I'll try not to take the mick out you too much, Dave, but I'm more interested in the rugby today.
You know you can take the mick out of me anyway. I expect it. So both sides coming out onto the field. Both looking resplendent in their respective jerseys. And I always wonder, in these last few minutes before a game, this is where the nerves kick in.
Yeah, it was a very quiet buzz coming across. Again, a lot of these girls have never been involved in this type of occasion before. And no doubt they're going to be nervous. We're coming in as the underdogs. We're the unknown also. And I think once we get a minute or two into the game, I think them nerves will go and we should be on for a cracker.
Now, our match official team are Luke Fenton from Scotland, touch judge is James Jones, who was recently out in Serbia and is a dual code international referee of note, and Christoph Young is the other touch judge. Reserve ref Rob Aspey, interchange looking after that is Chris Williams, timekeeper Redmond Safi. And we will be having the national anthems, and we'll also be having a minute's silence as well. This in note of Jane Harris, a volunteer who passed away, who has represented Cardiff Demons and the South Wales Hornets. We'll join you right after that. Well, it was a nervous start, but they got into it.
There's a few swaying bodies there, really getting into it.
And now for the Welsh national anthem.
Little girl on there was very spirited.
Lots of passion, lots of passion. It's like what we want to see. Just a few seconds away from the start of the game. We did, of course, observe the 13 seconds against racism and discrimination in all of its forms. The Tackle It campaign, which we've been observing all through the Rugby League season. And it's the final words. Plenty of encouragement. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I won't deny it, I'm a little bit nervous. The adrenaline's running.
Wales just in one final huddle. Referee Luke Fenton swapping the sides around.
Is there an advantage we win today, Dave? I don't know which, can't tell.
To be fair, it tends to swirl in this ground.
Just looking at the flag over on the far side, it seems to be going that way. That looks like Wales have got an advantage first half.
See if it makes any difference to the game. Plenty of these girls on the Welsh side have been involved in the Women's Super League South campaign this season for Cardiff Demons. Competition won by the Demons, actually. So there's definitely going to be some familiarity in playing alongside each other. Referee's whistle sounds and away we go. So it's a deep restart. It's allowed to bounce. It once caught on the second time and ran forward by Erin Cole.
I think that was Sarah Lovejoy, that, David.
Oh, was it? Sorry, yeah. Rolled over on her back. Yeah, Lovejoy. Picked up out of dummy half. Ran forward. Picked up 5 metres quickly, as you like. Ireland making first use of possession inside their own quarter. This is Lambert from York City Knights, rolling forward. But in good form as well, scored 2 tries in Women's Super League over the course of the season. Picked up now by Steph Carroll. Carroll bouncing through the challenge, excellent run. Now she comes back towards the middle, chased all the way by Norkit. That'll be a good clash between those two centres over the course of the afternoon as Norkit doubles up in the middle of the field with that challenge. Last tackle signal here. Back from Cole to Stacey Greenwood. Greenwood, vastly experienced, 35 years of age, bounced it between 2 players, and it's taken in by Ellery Michael, who was quickly met by 2 in the tackle. Really strong defence from Ireland. What have they got? And I tell you what, it's a fierce challenge on Seren Goff-Walters. 3 into the stop. Good start to the game.
It's a cracking start to the game. I think Pip's just got a little bit of a knock there. She's shearing Kieran away, saying she's okay, though.
So Wales continue in possession. Comes into the middle of the field with Fionn Jones. Jones tries to brush away from 3 defenders. Now she'll have to play it just inside her own half of the field. It's pushed right through Catherine Salter. Salter outstanding for London Broncos this season. About 10 metres in opposition half. Back with Lewis. Lewis, interesting kick over the top. Oh, it's allowed to bounce and it's trickling. And thankfully, from an Irish point of view, it'll bounce out of play.
It looks like there's more nerves in the Irish team than the Welsh team. The Welsh team look a little bit more composed from the get-go. going back to the Irish girls, though, I think there's a lot of girls from Dublin City Exiles in the squad. They should have a little bit of familiarity. But yeah, super start.
I think 7 of the squad originally from the Dublin City Exiles. 1 from Bedford Tigers as well. We'll try and give Storm Cobain a bit of a mention because she is the first international that Bedford Tigers have produced.
Really? And Storm's a quirky character. She is an Irish girl by origin. She's born in Ireland. She just lives over here. She teaches over here. And yeah, plays for Bedford.
So Ireland back in possession. 20 metres from their own line. Fierce challenge there. 3 in the stop. It'll definitely slow the ball down. Cole picks up out of dummy half. Finds Quinn. Tries to barrel over the top of 2. Quinn's just come off the back of an excellent season with Lee Miners Rangers. He's a 10-year veteran there. And then crash forward once again up towards the 30-metre line. Wales will have to clear the line a little bit better. Lovejoy was able to play it. Now Quinn taking over again. She's a good footballer, Marie Quinn.
Yeah, you can tell she's got that knowledge. She's been around a while.
She'll play this to Cole, who shuffles it left. Greenwood thinks she spotted something. It's an intelligent kick. Will it bounce up? Tell you what, Ray Lawless is after it. The bounce just evaded her, and it was well cleaned up by Bryony King, who's now linked with fullback Leanne Burnell. And Burnell is turned on her back.
Let's give a knock on that.
She's wanted to get on with things anyway.
Yeah. Nobody wants to have a breather yet.
I suppose, like we were saying, you know, there is like these early nerves, and that's just from a commentary point of view.
Yeah, I think both coaches would have told the squad, you know, you've got to complete your early sets. Let's get at least 5 sets, no mistakes. And they'll all be trying to do that. But they look like they want to do it at a million mile an hour.
Jones into the teeth of the 3-player stop there. It's going to be Molly Reardon at dummy half, 18 years of age. Passes to the other teenager in the Welsh ranks, in Bryony King. Only played 2 games of rugby league before today, scored 5 tries.
Fantastic. Couple of girls, I think it's the first game on the Irish team.
Lovely work out wide from Lewis. Good linking up with Norkit. The 2 of them very good linking up on the left-hand side for Cardiff Demons over the course of this season. Reardon passes into the middle. It had to be dipped at by Emily Hughes. She did well to take it in the end. And again, some fierce defence heading away.
Again, you've got to remember that a lot of these Irish girls, you know, they do play GAA over in Ireland, which is a physical contact sport as well. So there's nothing wrong with the contact side of it.
As King smuggles her way through for an extra 5 metres. 25 metres out from the line, Wales. It'll be turned to the right-hand side. Kick comes in from Kerry Smash. One of the Wigan players in the ranks this afternoon. There's a couple in for Ireland. There's Carris is for Wales, and that's a good chase through as well for the tackle.
Yeah, Paige is the other girl from Wigan on the Irish team.
It's Copley. Was in action for Featherstone Rovers against Huddersfield Giants last week in the Women's Super League Shield final. That was an outstanding game, by the way. As Steph Carroll picks up out of dummy half, wins a penalty as well. Head high shot. You can't be doing that. So we've been going about 5 minutes in this game. 5 minutes, that's passed really quickly, to be fair.
It has, but I think Young Erin's made a little bit of a mistake there. She's tapped and gone. Tried to get on with the game. It was our penalty. We could have gained yards. I do apologise. I am being biased to Ireland.
Hey, if you can't be biased to Ireland as the team manager, when can you be biased, to be honest, Stuart? As it's turned down this left-hand side. Solid run forward. Big handoff coming in there from Paige Costello. And she's grounded on the halfway line. Can they advance further down the ground here, Ireland? It's passed in field, juggled by Birchall. Now it's out amongst the back line. Pure, taking on the line. Gaining 5 metres. Now it's back into the middle. Greenwood dominating, linking with Quinn. Quinn again dragging 2 defenders in, dragging them forward as well. Excellent work from Quinn up to the 30-metre line, just a little beyond as well. Last tackle has been signalled here by our referee, Luke Fenton. And then it's kicked by Greenwood out to this near side wing. And to be honest, they had no chance of catching that. There is an offside call that does go against Ireland, though. A little bit too keen on the chase. So this time the penalty goes in favour of Wales. I think they'll just be happy to move forward. Lewis has said, I want to kick this.
Oh, we're not kicking, we're just taking taps.
We must just be.
All right, sorry.
So it's been brought forward to the 30-metre line where the offence happened. Dabbed into touch by Lewis. Lewis had that ending of games to end all games, to be honest. In the Women's Super League South final, she scored the last try 10 seconds before the end, which won the game.
That's how games should be finished. I've seen a few like that.
So Reardon taps, turns it to her left-hand side to King. Heavily involved already is King. 3 into the stop. Birchall one of them, Lovejoy the other, and Quinn just reversing to the tackling place. Now it's moved left, still keeping it amongst the forwards. Wales, Jones with that carry. Reardon scheming, pops it left. Lewis decides to run, has options, puts it further left to Norkit. Norkit's got power and pace, and he's surging through, and she's taking an all-comers, and she's reached the line, but it's been held up thus. Or has she? No, she hasn't. Just for a second, it looked like she'd been held up, but she showed tremendous strength there, did Norkit. And you see her diving down that wing to great aplomb. And I tell you what, she did show some tremendous strength there.
She is quick and she is strong. I mean,
Copley did well.
Few of them a little bit guilty of going a little bit too high. You've got to get low, you've got to get into them. But yeah, she's so strong though.
And you see from that view that she definitely got that ball down.
Clear try, no problem with that.
We're a little bit further away, so it looked like she had a little bit more trouble in scoring that than as it appeared, to be fair.
I'm on double glasses here, Dave. I think I can just about see in that far corner. I mean, the substitutions are going to be critical today. We're international rugby, so we're 10 subs today.
Okay.
And you're quite right. They've been using their forwards an awful lot more tougher, stronger, quicker. Yeah.
I wonder how that's going to, because in Women's Super League South particular, they've been going off 20-player squads with like a rotating bench.
So that could come back to us then in the second half, because if they tire, because they're used to just keep rotating, that could be an issue. But let's see.
Just waved away was that effort. So 4 points to 0 in favour of Wales. That kick on goal coming from Fionn Lewis. Joined in co-commentary by a Seagull.
So long as he stays outside the box, that's okay. Them things, they'll eat anything, them things. They're not having my lunch.
I was just about to say, have you kept your butties well away? So we come back to the halfway line. It's going to be Pip Birchall to get us back underway. Just come off the back of an outstanding season with St Helens. They won the Women's Super League title last week by virtue of a 28-0 result against Leeds Rhinos. Birchall gets us back underway, it bounces. That's a real tricky one. That's a lovely kick-off, to be fair. Marsh had to come for it. She's grounded by 2. Play quickly, and Reardon gets it into the arms of Salter. Salter picking up a bit of pace. Side again. Are they going to look it to go out to that side again? Fionn Jones, wrapped up by 2. Just over that 40-metre line. Reardon will move it right. Links with Marsh. Plays it to King. King motoring down the field. Holding players off. So strong. And then he's run out of numbers. Good defence in the end from Ireland.
He was. He run a good line as well. Just took a good ball there. Went through. It's what you want of your forwards and your middles.
Steph Carroll with the tackle in the end as Marsh buzzes around that middle again. Links with Jones. Again, very solid efforts coming in there from Ireland. And the ball's gone loose. Knock on called. And they were pleased about that, Will Ireland. Rewarded for some stern defence.
A little bit of a breather for him. I mean, to be fair, Bryony King's probably look like the best player on the park for Wales at this moment in time. They're going to have to really D up on this side. She's running some good lines, and the young halfback, Kerris, is giving some good ball.
It comes down the left-hand side to Lovejoy, just off the back of a good season with E- Rangers. Again, another player who's played in Women's Super League with St Helens.
And got a 40-week-old baby as well to boot.
Exactly, yeah. This is what some of the amazing stories that come out of the women's game. And players just jump right back into action, don't they, after giving birth.
Team meal last night, and next minute, so as Young'un pops up and he's there having dinner with us.
Oh, Ireland haven't found touch. It's cleared up by Burnell. Burnell's quick. Scored 7 tries during the Women's Super League South campaign for the Cardiff Demons. She'll play just outside her own 40-metre line to Reardon, who lines up Jones again, who's taking more than a fair share of carries in this early stage of the game.
That's what I was saying about the forwards doing some really heavy graft in the first 20. So It will be critical on the interchange for Wales.
Emily Hughes, equally strong. Look at that run, surging through tackles. Up to the 30-metre line. Reardon turns it left. Lewis takes over. That pass looked forward.
It did look forward.
Ooh, it's not called. Charlie Mundy carries on. And Wales continue to build this attack 25 metres out from the try line. It's turned to Marsh, who gets it quickly into the arms of Hughes. Again, a battering ram through the middle. Hughes dragging defenders in from left and right of the ruck. Last tackle has been reached. Wales will put it back to Lewis. He'll just add a low kick in, which is played off of the boot of Greenwood. Good pick up from Greenwood.
She's a smart player, is Stacey.
She was outstanding in the early stages of Bradford Bulls, developing their women's side. Recently joined Wigan. And there's Copley clearing the line.
She did, and she picked up an injury, you know. Well, first game, she got a grade 3 tear in her Achilles.
So she's done well to get back and make this game, hasn't she?
This is week 8
wow.
of when she should be playing. So
Ireland in possession, picked up out of dummy half by Lambert. Finding metres hard to come by.
Yeah, I'm guessing how strong that wind is down there. I'm just wondering whether that's a disadvantage for us or an advantage for Wales. I don't know.
Better run from Quinn. Sets a platform with that, gets them a bit further down the field. 25 out from their own line. Last tackle has been reached. It's in the arms of Greenwood again, who hoofs it down the ground. Burnell allows it to bounce. Unfortunately for her, it trickles into her arms and she's allowed to attack and get beyond halfway, where she stopped 7 metres in from touch. Picked up out of dummy half by Michael. Michael really centering this move. Then coming back and eventually taking the tackle and losing the ball as well. What a great hit that was.
He's give a rip. He said with hands in on that one.
I thought that was a really good tackle, to be fair. But Wales will take it. It'll keep them on the attack. 4 points to 0 they lead in this inaugural international against Ireland. Tap taken quickly by Jones, who then slings it into the arms of Salter, out to the left-hand side. They again look like they're measuring things up out left. It's gone to Lewis.
Incorrect play of the ball.
Yeah, not played the ball correctly, so yeah, he's obviously watching.
To refer to Mr. Fenton, he did say before the game, I'm going to penalise you if they don't play the ball correctly. At least make an attempt to get your foot in it. Clearly they didn't.
And to be fair, in the women's game overall, you see a better standard of play the ball. It's not just a case of waggling your leg at it like you see in so many men's games.
Yeah, it's just lift the leg these days and roll it under. So I think Clodagh Dunn's just come on, number 17. Now, this is Clodag's very first game in Rugby League. And she's tough.
Let's see how she goes. Well, already Ireland up to the halfway line. Picked up out of dummy half by Coll, who turns it right. And there is Clodagh Dunn with that carry. And it's a tough one, like you mentioned.
Yep.
Picking up 10 eager metres. Ball turned left now. Poor through hands. Out to Greenwood. So scoring an outstanding try a couple of seasons ago for Bradford. She's got a bit of pace if she can get free.
Yeah, she's been looking really sharp in training. Like I said, she's had this tear, so she's took it easy. She's not killed it, but she's been looking good in training.
Costello rolled on her back, 30 metres away from the line. Cole spins it into the arms of Greenwood, who launches this skyward. It's a tester for Burnell. Oh, she takes it well.
Easy, steady and good.
And now she's running cross field. Oh, and slings the ball wide for Norkett. That's a terrible ball. An awful pass. It put Norkett under all kinds of pressure.
She did all the hard work, all the good work, all the hard work, and then threw a risky ball.
So it's turnover possession. A real chance this for Ireland. And to be honest, the first time that we've sort of seen them in a proper attacking position.
Yeah, we've had no pressure in their 20, and now we're going. Stacey's getting some treatment, and they've kicked off.
Dunn driving forward, proving difficult to handle. 2 metres out. Greenwood's patched up, and he's joining the attacking line again. And it comes left to her. So straight away she's being tested out, and she tests the defence out. Goes right for the posts. Good defence in the end. There's a whole heap of defenders underneath that area though as it comes left. Poor
nice
long ball. It's a tricky run from Carroll. Slips it out over the top to Lawless. Lawless loses it under pressure. But I tell you what, that was a real chance for Ireland and some good movement, to be fair.
It was a good chance, but I think it was a good chance wasted. We had space on both edges. We've got to play with our eyes up. We've got to look at what's going on around you. But I think the ball was knocked out of Ray's hands there, and yeah, it's a knock-on.
So as a result, they're coming towards the middle of the field.
Captain's choice were to restart on scrums. Or play the ball, sorry.
Sarah Jones has headed onto the field for Wales. So some of these early changes that we talked about. 4 points to nil in favour of Wales. Hope you're enjoying the coverage this afternoon on our league. It's a delight to be here once more at Stadium Zitworld in Colwyn Bay. I think I'll get a season ticket next year. It's been a great venture coming here over the course of the year as Wales push themselves out of trouble, get towards and just over their own 30-metre line. Serengoff Walters plays it. Now it's out with Marsh, who finds Bryony King once again. Good numbering up there on King to stop forward progress. Reardon turns it left. It's not been played correctly again.
I mean, she's too eager there. She's trying to push her out the way. You can't do that. Get up, play your ball, game on. But you can't push your opposition out the way.
So that's certainly something that he's having words with Reardon about, to be fair. They've only got one marker at the moment, Wales as well. As it comes into the middle with Birchall. Came through the ranks at Thato Heath, who won the NCL yesterday. Great result for them as Quinn straightens up. It's an excellent run and wins a penalty as well. Thought she should have had a couple of penalties in that grand final because she wears a hair long and there was a couple of her grabs, to be fair.
Yeah. I've not watched it, I'll be honest with you. But I think Wales look to be getting a little bit tired. This should be our opportunity to get some yards and possibly some points.
Let's see if they can do just that. Paige Costello with the first run of the set. 15 metres out from the try line. Cole turns it right. Quinn takes over. Quinn again going at the line, dragging two defenders in.
They've squeezed in, Wales. We need to rush this ball.
It's turned to the right-hand side. Birchall playing it tight. Just dragged down a couple of metres short. Quick play the ball required and got. Cole to the right-hand side to Greenwood. Greenwood out to Pua. Pua, then laid it out on a plate there for Storm Cobain, who found it too hard to handle.
She'll be frustrated with herself there, Storm. I think that was a walking had she caught that ball.
As it is, Wales can breathe a sigh of relief. They still hold on to this narrow 4 points to nil advantage. Tell you what we have seen over the last few minutes, though, just how Ireland can control field position if they can get there.
Yeah, that's what I think. Wales have just tired in this last 5 minutes, and I think Ireland have got the upper hand on that. We just need to be a little bit more smarter in the attack.
Almost 20 minutes of the game gone. Those are the messages that you'd be sending out, Stuart.
If I was a coach, if I was a coach.
So it's played by Salter. Turn to this left-hand side again from a Welsh point of view. This defence looks solid from Ireland, though. It's going to take something special to breach it. As Reardon pushes it left. Big handoff comes in from Emily Hughes. But that's great technique, rolling her on her back. That'll slow the ball down. Reardon will pass left for Lewis, who takes on the line. She's quite dangerous when she does that. Just ducks the shoulder.
If she goes through, she's gone.
Really clever player, as is this girl Reardon. Oh, nicely worked. Lovely work for Sarah Jones, but there is a forward pass. Touch judge stood his ground.
Well, I'll probably give him that one. I don't think that one was forward. I think the one about 10 minutes ago was, but I thought that was a perfectly good ball.
I'm sure Ireland are complaining on the field.
I'm not complaining, but I'm sure Frank Copley would have caught her as well and tackled her.
Yeah, she's pretty quick. He's Frank Copley did a wonderful chase back last week on Amelia Brown.
All the way, yeah. I've watched that one more than once.
She got brushed off twice on the run back, but still managed to chase back. So tremendous work from her. Wonder if we'll see that pace this afternoon as it's played by Dunn. And Quinn wrapped up. I'm sure she was still thinking of trying to smuggle an offload there for a second. Called to the left-hand side. This is Costello once more. Good work from Costello. Big and strong. Twisting through a couple of challenges. 25 metres out from the line. Picked back up by Cole, who passes left for Greenwood. All on, waves our match official. Markers weren't square. Ireland playing on. This is Lawless cutting in off the wing. one of the many Dublin City Exiles players in the ranks. Plays it to Cole, who finds Costello. Bryony King all over her like a rash there. She plays it quickly. Out on this left-hand side with Dunn. Dunn for the line. Yes, she's got there. That is the equaliser. That's just what Ireland were looking for. And to be honest, over the balance of the last 5 minutes, no less than they deserve.
Well, I did say she was a big, tough runner, tough as teak. First game of rugby league, first try on debut. Fantastic.
And we just see this as well on the replay. Initially, a very good tackle there just to prevent, I think it was Costello, picked up quickly out of dummy half. Look at this for strength from Dunn. You're never going to stop me from that distance.
No, from that distance, you're not. No, great try. That'll lift the girls.
So Pip Birchall going to attempt the goal kick him. I have to admit, I didn't realise it was a skill that she possessed.
I don't think she does.
I've never seen her go for goal for St Helens.
I think that's something that was short of. I think her main goal kicker's on the bench today. But she put her hand up. She said, "I'll have a knock." Yeah, everybody loves a trier. She's a great girl, Pip, though.
And to be honest, you want players like that, though, don't you?
Yeah.
You'll say, "Yeah, give it me."
That's why she's vice captain. She talks well. You know, she speaks to them. She's got the knowledge. She's great.
So can she convert this effort from Dunn?
Chances.
Tell you what, he did have chances initially. Just dropped short, but it's an excellent effort. And the scoreline remains 4 points each.
Game on. Fantastic. Just while they've been taking the conversion there, we've had an interchange. Mireille Quinn's come off, and I think we've got Amy O'Neill on the park now.
So after that early try from Larry Norkett, we're all square.
I'm glad it's a tight game, Dave, I'll be honest with you. I'm glad it's not runaway either side. It's going to be, I think it's going to be like this till the final minute.
I would agree with you. I mean, we're, 25 minutes into the game now? And it's really nip and tuck.
Yeah. There's going to be some good shows, some good plays on show in the last 20 of this game.
So ball up in the air from the restart, taken by Greenwood. Oh, I tell you what, that's a fine run forward again by the try scorer Dunn. Up beyond the 30-metre line. That's where you want to be starting your sets. Picked up by Copley. Drifts across field, buys a side a further 5 metres. Case of completing this set after scoring points. Nice pick up from Crow. She can shift, and she's got over that halfway line.
She's done well, Rusheen. She got a late call up on Thursday to say she was playing. Originally, it should have been Grace Morley from Lee Miners, but unfortunately, Grace is unwell. Get well soon, Grace. Yeah, so she's coming at the last minute. She's doing really well.
Amy O'Neill to play it. Just her side of the 40-metre line as Birchall takes over. Through a huge dummy there. Tell you what, the defence read it perfectly. Last tackle signal here from our referee, Mr. Fenton. Where's this ball going? It's going to Greenwood. Greenwood skies it. Oh, this is a tricky one for Michael to deal with. Does well. There's a call off the bench for obstruction.
Yeah, you're not going to get away with that one at this stage.
Gough Walters. Born in Dubai, you know. Finds herself in a Welsh jersey once more this afternoon. And will play the ball to Burnell. He's looked keen and eager for work, to be honest, as a fullback.
Yeah, yeah, they need to start stepping it up again. Wales, they need to come get that little bit of a shift on with the forwards. They have gone quiet the last 10 minutes. That's why Ireland scored.
Great
but
work.
Defending well.
Great work and a super tackle on Salter. Raiden will look towards Lewis. Lewis will take it into her own hands. Makes some good yards down that left-hand side, but that's where she's caught, and that's where this attacking set will end, because it's the last one of the set. And onto the right boot of Salter. Bit of a hit and hope kick, and it bounces and bobbles, picked up easily enough by Copley, who can actually choose who she was able to run at there.
Yeah, and Fran's a good kick return. I've seen a couple of tries that she scored. She's got some wheels on her, as Fran.
That's a horrible play of the ball, however. I believe they call that the commentator's curse.
Commentator's curse, yeah.
First one of the afternoon.
Was that me or you?
Oh no, you're taking the credit for that one.
Thank you, Dave.
I'm gonna have one later, I think. Still, it remains 4 points each. Real chance here for Wales, though.
To refer to the referee, there's been a couple of decisions, but that's rugby. I wasn't quite clear what happened there. I think she got it knocked out of her hands, but a game has a habit of equaling itself up during the duration.
Sarah Jones with a good charge through the middle to the 20-metre line. Reardon will turn it to this right-hand side to Salter. Direct play from Salter again. Excellent work from Dunn, though. What a tackle that was.
If she'd left it to her, I think she would have stole the ball there.
Reardon will continue moving the ball right to Marsh. Marsh linking with Burnell. Burnell trying to get between players. Slips the ball out the tackle. It's now out upon the wing. And Ellery Michael touches down at the corner. That was some brilliant work from Wales, to be honest.
Yeah, that was good half-back play by Wales there. They've suckered us in there. We've rushed in, we've cut in, and left us wide open on the wing.
Have a look at this again. I mean, it was superb interplay. First of all, with Marsh, who's looked prominent down this right-hand side. Links with Burnell. Burnell's between two defenders, and somehow manages to slip the ball out to Gough Walters. And there was no panic from Walters. Knew she had to ship it into the arms of her winger. And Ellery Michael does the rest and adds the points.
Yeah, these are the parts of the game that Ireland ladies need to learn. This is the knowledge. Steph Carroll there, she's wedged in. She took the lead runner, and probably that's not her defender. That's not her attacker to take. She should stay out for her centre, and that's the result. They get the try. But we're still in this game. It's only 4 points.
28 minutes of the game gone. Fionn Lewis with this latest attempt on goal. Tell you what, she's give that chances. Oh, it just drops just beneath the posts. Scoreline remains 8 points to 4 in Wales' favour. What a try that was, though. Really good work down this right-hand side.
Yeah, come off of an error, stroke mistake, and that's the punishment that you get. You know, you can't be giving up ball in your own 25 metres.
There's quite a long inquest into that try as well from the Irish side.
Yeah, I think John would have got the word out to the coaching staff on the line there to tell them where they've got to be and where they've got to stay. Clearly there, Tom Marsh is speaking to the girls on that edge.
So, 8 points to 4. Referee has stopped the clock just whilst he awaits Ireland getting themselves back in order on halfway. And the clock that we've got running, of course, isn't the official one. That's in the hands of our match official. Birchall with the restart. Angling it on the other side. Oh, that bounces and bobbles in behind Lewis, who does well to pick up in the end, but again, some forceful defence from Ireland coming in. Now can they restrict these Welsh meters on this set? Well, with efforts like that, that's going to help. Superb work there from Storm Cobain.
Storm and Pip's getting through an awful lot of work, you know. I think if someone's doing a tackle count, I would imagine Pip's at the top of ours.
Norkit relieving a couple of her forwards with a carry. She'll play it on the 30-metre line. Reardon to Caris Marsh, who then turns it back to, I tell you what, Sarah Jones is running pretty well since going on the field. Plays it quickly. Reardon turns it left. Marsh keeps it moving. Oh, it's juggled and dropped by Hughes. That's the mistake that Ireland were hunting. Now, what are they going to be able to set up with this next bit of possession?
Trying to decide what the referee's given here. Oh, it's captain's call where you can play the ball.
Coming right to the middle of the field. I quite like that, but we have heard during the week that scrums will be returning next year.
Scrums are an integral part of the game, Dave. You can't take them out. You know, although it makes the game quicker, I think when you look at the actual rules of 13-a-side, you know, you've got to keep them.
Oh, I'm a fan of it returning anyway, to be fair, as Birchall runs through the middle, picks up a real head of steam there. 25 metres out from the line here, Ireland. Cole at dummy half. She'll turn it right. Here's Dunn. The try scorer for Ireland appearing on the right-hand side now. Pushing away just inside the 20. What have they got to line up here? Pua out to Greenwood. Greenwood stops and delays and ducks back for the middle. And has spotted a hole. And he's going for the line. I tell you what, she's only just stopped. It was coattails and all sorts. Now a chance for Ireland. Paige Costello.
Paige Costello, she's got that ball down.
She has got this down. Oh, no. No, it hasn't. It's ruled over.
Can't believe that. Any chance of seeing that one again?
Paige Costello ruled to be held up. And it was the last tackle. Oh, no, it wasn't. So it's just back to the 10, sorry. This will be the last tackle.
Shift it.
It's Greenwood.
There you go.
Long, long ball. Bounces and bobbles up into the arms of Carroll, who takes on the defence, and he's well held. And it will be turnover, but that's not a bad play.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. Make them work out of defence. That's good. I still think that was a try of Costello, though.
And here comes Burnell, running into some good contact in the middle.
Yeah, you've got to make these tackles count, David. You don't want them coming out quick and taking good yards.
Ooh, that looks a little bit of a high shot.
Second time for me. Commentator's curse, I've done it again. I'm leaving.
So, Raiden taps, looks round, finds the support there of Sarah Jones. Jones just 22 years of age, as Raiden brings it right. Salter can't handle it.
Pinged us for being offside.
Perhaps just a little bit too keen and eager there in the eyes of the referee. Mash wants Wales to tap. Raiden looks to set something up as Wales make another change with Warrington's Kira McCosh taking the field. It'll be moved towards her. Salter plays it off to McCosh. Always good to get your first carry. Crosses the halfway line too.
Yeah, and Kira wants him to make a point because she's played obviously against Wales and against a few of these girls in this competition this year.
It's Bryony King somehow manages to control possession.
She did well though.
She did superbly. Circus act as well, Bryony King. Oh, and then she's messed up the play of the ball, unfortunately. And there's an error which has resulted in a third penalty against Wales for that very offence. Eight points to 4.
Yeah, it's hand over.
So, Ireland back in possession. Trying to drive their way through the middle. Working it forward steadily. Ray Lawless to play it. Picked up out of dummy half by Steph Carroll. Good run by Steph Carroll, that.
She's a bit of a try-scoring machine back in Wales. Back in Ireland, in Wales. She scores for fun.
Oh, Pip Birchall has put it down. And then it's been put down as well by Wales. But first error went the way of Ireland, so it is going to be turnover possession to Wales and a chance for them to launch another attack.
Again, we're giving up possession in the 40. Puts us under pressure, but I just think Pip's done an awful lot of work. You know, she's taking care, she's doing all the tackling. She's going to be tired.
She's looking a little weary. We've only got one player in as marker as well. Thankfully, that's been spotted. It's moved right. Nothing really doing down this side. I don't know why they went down there in the first place, but McCosh has got it in the middle now. Gets over that 30-metre line. She'll play it to Raiden. Raiden, lofted forward. Pass left. It did look suspect.
Got it, yeah. Thank you.
And there you go. There's the forward pass. Yeah. I think both sides starting to get a little bit tired now, aren't they, with like 5 minutes to the break.
I was going to say it's only a few minutes to the break, and there's been a tough game up to press. And I think the mirrors coming into the game now is due down to the tidiness of both sides.
Still 8 points to 4. It's been a really good contest up to this point, though. I know we've seen a few mistakes sort of trickle into the game over the last few minutes, but there's plenty of endeavour out there, isn't there, still?
Plenty of time left in this game.
Copley with a stuttering run, then straightens things up, eventually met by a 3-player welcome committee, and rolled to the ground just inside her own 40-metre line. There's Lambert. Doing well there, Betty Lambert. That didn't look a convincing play of the ball, but we carry on. Some excellent work down that right-hand side again, once more by Crow. Ireland looking for a break from somewhere. Doing plenty of the tough stuff in the middle of the field. Just advancing themselves over the halfway line with Birchall. There's Dunn once more. The try scorer getting over the 40-metre line inside the Wales half the field. Last tackle has been reached. Where's Greenwood? She's got the ball now. Dabs it over the top. There's a real solid chase on this one. Oh, and the bounce just evaded Carroll. And it's kicked forward by Greenwood. Still the chasing on. Oh, and it will be dropped on.
Try.
Is this going to be given? Yes, it is. Lambert scoring. We're all level, 8 points each. Doesn't matter how they come in the end. They all count for 4 points.
Bit scrappy, bit scruffy, but opportunity knocks and then goes Lambert for the try. Fantastic.
It was a brilliant kick over the top initially, to be fair.
That's the danger, laying the ball but bounce. You lay it bounce at your peril.
And then it was kicked on again by Greenwood. And she's only got the slightest of looks, hasn't she, what's going on to that right-hand side. Yeah, again, the bounce just evades everybody. And Lambert in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, luckily everybody else missed it. Normally somebody puts a cheeky finger on there and it's a knock-on. But thankfully nobody did and we've taken the points.
So, poor with this conversion attempt. You said there's an interesting story regarding Pua, wouldn't you, sir?
I wouldn't say it's an interesting story. I think a name they call us Sniffy, and I just don't think it's an appropriate name to say on commentary. But because people struggle with the name Sifonia, everybody calls her Sniffy.
Well, I wasn't thinking of that story. It's the one it's the one you was telling me before about her origins.
Well, she's clearly South Islander. Oh, she's kicked it.
She's kicked it as well.
She's a South Islander by origin, but obviously she's come over to Ireland as a kid, and she's set her roots, and she's an Irish resident.
Well done, Sifonia there with the goal kick. 10 points to 8 now in favour of Ireland. You couldn't have asked for a better time to score.
No, right on the stroke of half time. That's fantastic. Game on. Must be under 2 minutes to stop the clock.
So Wales just getting themselves organised on the halfway line. Skipper Lewis to get us back underway. Short time out from the interval, and it'll bounce and bounce up, and it's powered back. Really good run over on that side of the field by Storm Cobain. 25 out from her own line, picked up out of dummy half and run for the middle quickly by Lambert, the try scorer. And then Crow. She's made some magnificent meters out of dummy half, you know.
She's a quick runner, to be fair, but yeah, she's done well.
10 points to 8 in Ireland's favour. Tricky run coming in from Carroll. She seemed to lead the defence of Merry Dance out of dummy half then and pinch an easy 10 metres in the end.
It's a critical set. You've got to complete this set after just scoring.
Oh, what a run that is from Amy O'Neill.
We've made 50 yards. You know, we're doing well.
Last tackle of the set. Greenwood's called for it again. It's hoisted up high in the air. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, it was a real telling kick, that one. Taylor never looked comfortable underneath it.
I'm a bit confused. Rafiki's been around for quite a while, hasn't she? She was in the last time I was here, but she played 13. But looking at that, she looks like she's got injured. But Is she in her 40s?
She is, yeah. She's 43, double international.
Fantastic.
Great story behind it, and she's missed the entire playing season this year due to an injury. And he's only just coming back, I think, hence her experience on the wing rather than in the middle. But sometimes things like that happen in rugby league, and Ireland on the attack again, applying the pressure. Pip Birchall going on the run.
Well, if you're smart, you're attacking that edge. You can see she's clearly injured, so...
And to be fair, that's exactly where Ireland are going. Greenwood's called for it. Greenwood's taking him on. Greenwood's gone to the line. She's looked for the offload. She's got the offload. That's Storm Cobain. As she got it down, she's held up again. So close from Ireland. So close to a third try for the Emerald Isle.
Yeah, you can hear the calls from the coaching bench saying there, get it to the right edge, get it to the right post, and they want to set up a play on the last tackle here.
It's done. Wrestled to the turf, 5 metres out from the line, just to the right-hand side of the posts. Lined up for Pip Birchall. There was no way she was pacing through the defence there. Oh, and there's a penalty here. A little bit of messing around. And Islander will apply more pressure. Birchall taps, turns it to Dunn. They'll have a devil's own job in keeping her out, and they've done well. McCosh just adding that final little push. Now Birchall, good run, slips the ball out. Oh, she wasn't ready for it. It was Cole, and it's been knocked on. Unfortunate.
Yeah, bad error. We shouldn't be making them errors when you're just a couple of yards away. Obviously, Erin Calder thought that the play's going down. She's going to play the ball. She's setting up the next play, and obviously Pip slipped it out. She wasn't looking.
There's that old saying with rugby league, isn't there? Expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected, yeah. Our friends are back.
Put your butties away. 10 points to 8 in favour of Ireland. Wales back in possession, though. Been put under all kinds of pressure in the last few minutes. Goff Walters. It's a strong carry. And an equally strong challenge. Cole all over the defender. It comes right. And there's Michael, the last try scorer. Ellery Michael to play it. Reardon pops it up for Jones. The hooter sounds. That will be the final play of the half. And what a half of rugby that we've seen. That's 2 tries each. 10-8 at the break.
Yeah, been very interesting half of rugby. The first ever half of rugby for Ireland women. I think we've done well. I think Wales have been quite good as well. I think they've been a little bit more dominant than what we thought, but our girls have stuck in there. And we're actually in lead at half-time, so that's good.
I think it's been a cracking game, to be honest. A real credit to both sides. And let's have a look at the highlights. Starting first of all with this. This is Norkit. Strength, power, pace. Sliding through on the left-hand side. And an awful lot of work to do. Copley thought that she had her for a second. But she kept spinning and twisting. And there's that ball going down.
Yeah, you saw it clearly going down there. And you know what? They went down that edge. That's the only time they've gone down there. And they got some purchase. They've not been back. So, but it was a cracking try.
Does that surprise you that they've not targeted that area a little bit more?
Yeah, well, I think I'm guessing watching the play, and you will see it probably more in the highlights. They've tended to pick the right edge to go down. I think that's where they think they're going to get more points. And they have scored on this edge as well, by the way.
And this is Ireland down the left edge. And this was a clear case of, give me the ball, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to go over the line. Yeah. Dunn doing tremendously well.
I'm on debut, and you ain't going to stop me.
A debut score. So that made it 4 points each at that particular stage. Then I thought this was the try of the half, to be fair.
Oh, 100%. It's really good play off the half back here. She's got a runner there. In comes Steph Carroll, wedge, bang, try. You're not going to stop it from there.
Nice slipping of the ball out to Seren Goff-Williams, and then lays it out on a place right for Ellery Michael to go in. That made it 8 points to 4. And then this was one of the chances which was ruled held up. I can see you're getting a really close look at this one now, Stuart.
I think it was a try.
This was Costello, of course, wasn't it?
I think it's down there. I think it's already down there. And as he's come round, she's picked it up off the floor and he's looked they can't give a decision from the touchline. But I think she'd already got it down before he come round the corner.
It wasn't to be on that occasion, but this was the try when it came. Initially kicked over by Greenwood. Bounces really awkwardly for everybody, to be fair. Look at that for a reaction from Greenwood. Just sweeped it with the boot.
Bend it like Beckham.
The bounce defeated 2 on the over the try line, and Lambert followed up to get the touchdown.
Well-deserved try, but good for the lead. Fantastic.
And then Pua kicking the extras to make it as it is at half-time. Wales 8, Ireland 10. We hope you've enjoyed the first half. Join us in a few minutes for the second. Hello, welcome back to Stadium Zip World here in Colwyn Bay, where it's international action. A historical afternoon for Women's International Rugby League as Wales host Ireland. Ireland playing their very first game. They've had the very first 40 minutes and the first half-time team talk, and they're in front by 10 points to 8. Really spirited performance, 2 tries each. My name's Dave Parkinson, delighted to be, as I was in the first half, alongside Stuart Pryor. Stuart, you must be proud as punch.
Yep, I've got to say, I think we've done really well for our first half of rugby league there. I think we've defended well. We've shown a little bit of common sense at times. We've made some mistakes, but that's us developing. That's us trying to do the game better. And I think we're in for a really good second half here.
It's almost like Wales have been sent out an extra minute ahead just to get together and to bring the thoughts in. They've not been far off. Ireland now just coming out onto the field as we speak.
Oh, that could have been us being a little bit 1 minute late coming out. Psychological effect there, Dave?
We'll never know. Until we speak to the coaches later on, perhaps.
Knowing Johnny's kept them in. I'm just trying to see if we've made any more replacements. No, we've not. We've still got Iona and Alex on the bench.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Iona. Saw her play a little bit for London Broncos in the Women's Super League South. She's really sharp around the dummy half area, so I know that when she does get the opportunity to get on, that'll lift things for Ireland. Yeah,
I think it's Iona's first year of playing rugby league as well, by the way. I think she's been playing soccer in the past and a little bit of rugby union. She's a really quirky way of passing the ball. When you'll see it when she plays. It's very effective and very good, but she's quite quick wearing that ruck as well.
She's got real natural ability, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's a super kid as well, by the way. She's really good fun in the team setup. She brings a lot of jovialness to us.
We'll dispense with jovialness for the minute though, because we're right at the start of the second half where it's down to business. Birchall gets us underway. A deep restart. She's picked out Marsh, who runs it back. Interesting about Marsh as well, she's been playing hooker for most of the season at Wigan in the Women's Super League. Has to fill a half-back role for Wales this afternoon.
Yeah, I think she's played really well, if I'm being honest. I think we thought she might not have been as effective in that position. We know she's a really good 9, and she doesn't normally play half, but I think she's done a really good job for
She has,
Wales.
yeah, I'd agree. There's Sarah Jones disappearing underneath a 2-player challenge as it comes left from Reardon, out to Lewis. Lewis linking with Burnell. Burnell can shift if given the opportunity, but I'll tell you what, there's no option there.
There wasn't when she's being defended, but if she tipped on quick, we'd wedged in. There was a 2-man overlap.
Good running from Lewis. Brushes away from 2. Nice bit of balance as well, to be honest. They get just over halfway. Pua makes the tackle. Raiding out dummy half. Had to concentrate on picking it up as Marsh fires a low ball into McCosh, who catches it right on her knees.
I thought Wales knocked on there at the play of the ball, if I'm being bluntly honest. I think they've missed that one, but we play on.
Last tackle signalled here. Not sure how much Burnell was expecting it on the last to reach her. The kick came in. Well taken by Ireland, launching the counter-attack, immediately returning to the 40-metre line. Here's Roisin Crowe. Vastly impressive. Really good performance from her. I was really impressed by her in the first half. Cole out of dummy half to Lambert. Scored that try, which resulted in Ireland going in front to this scoreline which we have at the moment, 10 points to 8 at the start of the second half. Birchall, big hand came up, trying to brush off McCosh. To be fair, not a lot of players will be able to do that.
No. She's looking good, Kira, to be fair to her.
Greenwood throws a dummy. Sergi's on. Oh, she's found the gap. Has she got the pace? She's pinned her ears back. The defence is catching up with her. And I tell you what, that's a brave challenge. There's a head-high shot.
You know, if I'm being honest, has he given the try?
He is giving a try. That was a really quick tap. Wow. Excellent play from Greenwood.
What smart play, what smart play.
She just decided, I'm going here, and we were looking at each other just for a second, half expecting the referee to bring it back. But fair play to Greenwood here. She just went straight to the mark the referee had set and just went straight through as Lewis was looking up at him.
Yeah, that's fantastic play off Stacey Greenwood. That shows her age and experience, if I'm going to compliment her on that.
So further in front from Ireland. Right at the start of the second half. This was brilliant from Greenwood in the first place, finding the hole, taking the high shot. Then she bounced up, quickly tapped it to herself and scurried under the post.
That was the roadrunner business start. I think the quicksand got her, then she got up and beep beep and she's off again.
Maybe she's earned herself another nickname there in the Ireland camp, Beep Beep.
Oh, she'll love me for that one later, I'll tell you. I was wondering whether the referee was actually going to go for his card for the high tackle, but Stacey just nullified that and just went.
Yeah, she just decided we're playing on here, didn't she?
Yeah.
Really quick play from Stacey Greenwood, fully deserved. And now Pua lofts it over the post once more. 16 points to 8 and looking pretty.
That's a 2-score lead. We've got to defend well for this set now. Sorry, we've got to attack well and retain our set. No mistakes.
For Wales, he's back to the drawing board. They'll be disappointed to have conceded a try like that.
Yeah, I mean, some people say it's a bit of a soft try, but, you know, Stacey's got to the mark. She's thought quicker than anybody else, that's all. Either side would have done it.
I think what I was surprised about is the fact that nearly every other game that I've seen for about 3 or 4 years, that gets called back. And a referee doesn't allow it to continue. So that's why I was so surprised that she'd actually gone through. Ireland certainly not complaining, up by 16 points to 8. Lewis gets us back underway. Underneath that one is Pua. Puts it into the arms of O'Neill. Tell you what, she's done some telling carries since going on.
Another great girl. Got 2 kids, aged 18 and 14 as Amy.
And here's Crow. Playing it just over the 40-metre line. Ireland needing to complete this set. Copley pushing up. Ball being moved to this right-hand side. O'Neill goes again.
Yeah, good carry that, good strong carry.
Tough carry from the Dublin City exile. Move to Birchall. She keeps it moving. Greenwood, that initially looked like it was going to be an excellent pass, then it ended up bobbling between players and a lot of pressure being put on, to be fair.
We've got away with that, it's the last tackle.
Carroll did well to take it in. Last tackle signal, as Stu mentioned. Greenwood goes high. Taylor's coming for it. It's in no man's land again. Bounces up. Can they find an offload? They can, but that's not been knocked on actually by Wales. Referee waves play on.
6s and 7s.
Taylor out of dummy half. It's a good drive. Up towards halfway. Molly Reardon pushes it right. McCosh thought about the pass then, thought better of it. Making progress steadily. Change made in the Wales ranks with Joanne Maguire going on. And in the meantime, Wales have a penalty. holding down the decision. Is this second half set up for Fionn Lewis? We already know that she can handle a pressure situation. Her side down by 8 points at the moment. That's a good touch finder down the right-hand side. Hope you're enjoying this coverage we're bringing to you this afternoon from Stadium Zip World just as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you. Live on our league, of course. Tap taken. Forward comes Bryony King. For a long while in that first half, she was the most impressive player on the field.
She was, and then I think she made a mistake, got a penalty against her, and she drifted off, but looks like she's going to come back strong.
That pass missed 2 players out. Goes into the arms of Sarah Jones, right in the centre of the field, 10 metres away from the posts. Running through the tackles though, Wales. Are they setting something up for Lewis? Lewis puts a short ball out to Charlie Mundy. You can tell all Rugby Union a background with that particular drive. Raiden picks about a dummy half. It's a rare I was going to say barge and darts. I got mixed up between the two words.
Yeah, but he's penalised us again there for a high tackle. It's back-to-back penalties.
Lewis fancies a quick one. She gets over as well. Well, I said that the skipper can just suddenly turn on a play or two, and she's come up with the tap penalty exactly like her opposite number. A little bit closer. And that was where the penalty was given. Quick as you like. She's barged away between 2 defenders there. Strong play on the line.
I mean, he's given it straight away. We're slightly unsighted up here from this angle, but give the referee the benefit of the doubt to try.
Just what Wales ordered. Now 16 points to 12. 8 minutes of the second half gone or thereabouts.
Again, it's a quick 8 minutes. Where's that gone?
Don't know. It's flown by, this game. Honestly has. It's another one of the reasons why I love every single opportunity that I get to commentate on a game, to be honest. Yeah, the afternoons fly.
They do, they do. I think we've got to give a couple of thanks as well. It's great that our league are promoting this game as well. Again, for the Island girls, Sport Island supported them to come this far as well.
That kick just drifts wide. Tell us a little bit more about how they've got here and what support has been received.
Well, obviously, the game in Ireland's a fledgling sport, and they got a grant from Sport England to get some girls playing rugby, as there is in a lot of constituents around the European Union. And they got a grant, and 16 weeks ago we had no players. 16 weeks later, we're putting out an international team. Sport Island have been our probably main funder of that, supporter of that, along with a couple of our own sponsors. And a couple of good personnel over in Team Ireland.
And it's great that there was an opportunity to bring the domestic players together in Ireland who, like you say, haven't had a lot of experience, to be fair.
Yeah, like I said, 16 weeks ago, they've got a league over there, but they've got no international or anything else of that kind. And yeah, we got 50 players in total to come into a squad and put them together, and this is the result.
I know it's a similar sort of story with Wales, isn't it, and the way that they've been able to come together over the last couple of years.
Yeah, again, I think we were above the fledgling game for Wales when they first got going.
Wales having a chance down this left-hand side. Norkit doing well to stay within the field of play. Seems to be overwhelmed by defenders directly beneath our commentary position. Raiden finds Lewis. Lewis throws it at Joanne Maguire. Not sure she'll thank her for the pass that was right around her ears.
No, bit of a killer.
Lewis calls for it again. It's in the arms of Jones. Pushing forward. Taylor's really struggling in the middle of the field. She's going to be helped off.
Oh, well, she's not even off the pitch. They had another player on, but we'll not question that one.
Ball bouncing, bobbling. It's a real good kick from Lewis. They've put an excellent chase in it as well. Seren Goff-Walters.
The warming up Iona here on the touchline to bring her on.
Yeah, looking forward to her getting out on the field, to be honest. This is an ambitious counter-attack from Ireland coming down this right-hand side. Same way as the call. And it does go that way with Betty Lambert. 6 again waves our referee. Ireland still up by 4 points in this one, 16 points to 12. It's a thriller on a Sunday afternoon.
It is, and we've just brought on Iona McCusker from the London Broncos. She should speed us up a little bit.
So McCusker out of dummy half straight away. Finds Marie Quinn. Marie Quinn put down on the 40-metre line. Was inspiring in the first half, Quinn. Now Birchall. She's having an excellent game, is Pip Birchall.
Yeah, she's got through some work. She's looking a bit tired again, but she'll crack on. She's a good girl. She's a trooper.
Paige Costello wrapped up on the halfway line. McCusker out of dummy half, sends it left.
That young girl doesn't look so clever. Bit of cramp.
Yeah, bit of damage in the middle for Wales. Wonder if Ireland have spotted it. There's got to be a gap somewhere with the player down. Greenwood goes for an aerial assault off the boot again. Burnell's got work to do and has coughed it up and kicks the ball out in disgust.
Well, that wind is definitely swirling. I think on ground level it looks pretty calm, but once it gets above them sticks, it's moving around. I mean, there's been quite a few knock balls off the wingers, if the truth's being told.
Thankfully, from a Welsh point of view, Bryony King was the girl receiving attention. She's jogging back into the defensive line, but pressure coming up here on the Welsh side. Trailing by 4 points. Can Ireland push forward for more points? There's Paige Costello twisting, holding the defence at bay. She'll play it 12 metres out. McCusker to her right-hand side to Birchall. Good run from Birchall again. Less than 10 metres away from the line. McCusker will push it right. There's Quinn. Right amongst the heavy traffic.
Yeah, route one for Quinn every time.
McCusker this time puts it right.
Great
Ball. What a super pass that was from Greenwood. And Storm Cobain has just stormed right through the defence.
Oh, there's nothing better than having one of your middles run a really good straight line and your half just feeds them. It's unstoppable.
Look at this. I mean, Quinn's all wrapped up. You'll see McCusker at dummy half knowing exactly where she wants to put this ball. Greenwood's already laid out the play, to be fair. She knows exactly what's on here. Look at that. Brilliant ball.
Run into spaces, not into faces.
Well, Greenwood, she's been a really pivotal player, hasn't she, for Ireland in this opening state of the second half, the first 14 minutes.
I think Stacey's shown a class. I mean, as you say, she's been around for quite a while there. She's been a really good player. And a few times she's shown them little dinky moves and gone through. But that was a great pass. Anybody would be proud of that pass. It was fantastic.
Poole once more just pushing the ball to the left-hand side of the upright. Scoreline remains 20 points to 12 here at Stadium Zip World. Wales have a game on their hands.
We have, and Ireland's got to keep the composure, and Wales have got to attack hard, and errors will come from both sides because of that. But it's all going to be about who's going to be the most composed now, who's going to be toughest to get it over the line.
Referee stopping his watch. Just remember that the time you can see on your screens is just a guide.
Looking down on the touchline, it looks like Rafuki Taylor's had a day there. She's not moving too well.
Yeah, she got brought off a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, plenty of head shakes there going on down there.
Hopefully it's not a repeat of the injury that meant that she missed the entire Women's Super League South campaign with the Cardiff Demons. But back on game. What a surge that was at the start of the set from Ireland. Starting the set 25 metres away from their own line. Steph Carroll picks up out of dummy half. That's great work from her. Despite the attentions of three players, she was proving particularly difficult to stop there. Couple of dummy plays. all wrapped up on this occasion, however.
Yeah, they've come out with this set. Wales, they're being very aggressive in the tackle, which is good.
McCusker turns it left. Copley stuttering run forward, actually. It's like she couldn't quite work out where she was going to run.
Yeah, but she gets half a gap. As you know, David, she's gone.
Oh, definitely. I know that she's got pace, but she just seemed a little bit unsure of where she was running on that occasion. Greenwood looks keen and eager, though.
She just creates time for herself all the time.
Lots of purpose running there from Greenwood. McCusker to the right-hand side. Kick comes in from Pua. Completes the set. Burnell, is she underneath it? She's fumbled it, but it goes backwards towards her own post where she picks up. Dances past one.
Put her in touch.
And Crow has put her in touch.
Yes.
Superb defence.
Again, them little 50-50s, they just lift you that little bit more.
Irish Eyes definitely smiling at the moment. Almost 18 minutes of the second half gone. 20 points to 12 in Ireland's favour. More possession coming up for the side in green and white. Sarah Lovejoy is back on for Ireland as well. She'll take possession on this occasion. Takes two to roll her to the floor. This time turn to Quinn. The Lee Miners connection getting involved through the middle.
Yeah, they're setting up another play, you can tell.
And a short play there for Birchall. Some solid defence there from Mundy. The ball goes loose. Oh, and it's ruled a knock-on against Birchall. Wales will be thanking the lucky stars that they can at least take possession. And what's more, that error from Burnell being run into touch hasn't been punished. So knock it at dummy half. We know her pace, we know her strength, we know her power. I tell you what, she was straight through there for a second.
Yeah, she lost her footing slightly. Had she been through, I don't think we would have seen her on this side of the pitch to run them sticks. Ellery
Michael proving difficult to hold as well. Quick 10 metres gained on that occasion. And an attack out of dummy half from Seren Goff-Walters. Slips the first tackles. Slips the ball back. It's gone to ground. That's a super pick-up, by the way. Lots of players moving forward for it. Now Lewis attacks the line directly. Good challenge, excellent work from Quinn. Wales not going away, advancing steadily. What a handoff that is.
That was a face palm and a half.
Wow, brilliant. That from Fionn Jones. Inside the 20-metre line she goes. There's players down all over the place. Here's Joanne Maguire. Maguire, big, tough, strong forward inside the 10.
Yeah. Pip Birchall's coming off here. She's clearly got a knock.
That's a real blow for Ireland. Wales trying to make it count. There's Fionn Jones once more. 5 metres out from the line to the right-hand side of the post. Here at Stadium Zip World. Is it being lined up? Inside pass comes to Maguire. This defence is heroic from Ireland.
You know, that was a great tackle off Steph Carroll then. She had to spot her and make it count, and she did.
Absolutely heroic. Can they hold out? It's back with Lewis. Lewis ducks down the right-hand side. Oh, that's been knocked on. Has it been dived on by Wales? It has. All on waves around the match official. More pressure coming up for Ireland to try and contend with. Fionn Jones takes the first carry. 2 metres out from the line. Over on the right-hand side of the field. Is there something on further down this left? Well, they'll once again challenge the middle with Hughes. The London Broncos forward, wrestled to the deck. She'll stand and play this. And it's moved left. Lewis just ducks the defence. Oh, she's managed to get her way through. Brilliant work from Lewis.
Yeah, it was a good try. She's gone through. She spotted the gap there. She's seen that Siphonia's off a line quick, and she just stepped inside her. Absolutely inspirational stuff from the skipper.
I don't know whether we've been able to say this before, but she's in both the Wales Rugby League lineup, as we can see this afternoon. She's been named in the Rugby Union squad as well.
She's a class player. You can see that when she's on the ball. She's got time around her. She gives off good passes. She can read a game really well.
Around 62 minutes of the game gone. But we are in the hands of the timekeeper, Raymond Safi, our timekeeper this afternoon.
So Ireland's made another substitution there. They brought on young Alex McGuinness. She's the youngest member of our squad. She's 19.
Oh, it's hit the post and bounced out. Well, you don't see that very often. 16 points to 20 is how it remains. The gap is still 4 points. Yeah, you mentioned young Alex McGuinness. I was trying to find some information out about some of these players, you know, that you've got in your squad. Yeah. Some of the more domestic, and apparently she was really, really good in the final that was played over in Ireland a few weeks ago.
Yeah, she was the standout player, and she's only young. She's very charismatic, let's put it that way. She's got a lot to say, and she can play.
To be fair, you need a halfback like that. You need your halfback to be your loudest voice.
Yeah, I know a couple of halfbacks like that. You're right.
Wales back in possession. Can they get down to the other end? That's a real tricky run. Well, marshalled in the end. Fionn Jones gets up and plays it. Here's Marsh now into dummy half on that occasion. Lewis attacking directly. Now Linky once more with Jones. Pushing forward with real purpose during this set, Wales.
It looks like Fionn's getting a little bit of a hold on this team now and started to move everything forward.
Lewis just lines it up there. Did look a little suspect, that pass for Emily Hughes. Did have Rugby Union written all over it, did that one, as it moved left to Lewis again. This is an interesting kick. Oh, well gathered in by Crow.
Come inside.
Oh, and she's been forced out of play. Great work by Rebecca Davies of Warrington to force her out of play. And is the tide in this game just turning slightly?
Yeah, they've turned up the notch of the Welsh over the last 5 minutes again, and running with a lot more purpose. But, you know, there's another period to come in this game. They'll tire again, and Ireland will come back again.
So Wales play this ball 20 metres out. And they'll push forward in the first tackle from Fionn Jones. She's been great when she's been out of the field as Jones this afternoon. Marsh out of dummy half. Linking on a short run with Joanne Maguire. Now 5 metres out from the line. Lewis has called for it. Gets it on the right-hand side. Fires it out to Burnell, who's put under all kinds of pressure.
It's a knock-on.
And loses the ball.
Back to one.
Oh, that's a real interesting call, is it?
He shook his hand. Is that 5? He was shaking his hand.
All on.
All on.
Here's Lewis. Dancing through 2. Still going forward, Lewis. Put down right on the try line. Marsh, she's quick from this position. Lines it up for Fionn Jones, who's pushed back into the field of play. Again, heroic defence from Ireland. Clinging to this 4-point advantage. And there's a penalty. A real messy play, the ball. All kinds of pressure being put on Ireland's defence now. It's tapped. Marsh is looking to get it down. She's held up, however. Well, it's like I've not seen a quick tap penalty taken in like about 4 years. And we've had 3 in this game.
And 2 got tries out of it.
Bring it back. I'm liking the way you're reffing, Mr. Fenton. So Marsh linking with Lewis. Oh, and then she's
lost her feet and she smacked her head on the floor.
She was dipping as soon as she tried to take that ball. Was Bryony King. She's in all kinds of issues there.
Yeah, I wonder, did her leg give way?
Oh,
yeah, she's not good. I stopped the game, referee.
It's a horrible injury that looks like she suffered. We play on still. Lambert doing well. Ireland under pressure. Offside is the call against Wales. Quick tap taken by Quinn. Well, I wonder how long it's going to be before we see
we've got
the game stopped.
We've got an head injury as well, so we need to stop the game.
Lovejoy carries on for Ireland. Now it's moved right to Quinn. Still we play on despite two players being helped up.
Go. Touch judge just told him now there's an head injury, so.
Well, this is unfortunate for Bryony King as well, and for the Ireland player, is it Copley who's receiving attention there?
Frank Copley there. I don't know if she took a smack in the face or. I know Bryony King, she went down funny. She sort of went down before the ball hit her and she got up and couldn't stand up. So I wonder whether the leg gave way before she caught the ball.
Well, that's what you said in the build-up to it, to be honest, Stuart, isn't it? Because you spotted it before I did, even with the run. She just wasn't comfortable at all, was she?
Nope. Pip Birchall looks strapped up down there. She looks like she wants to come back on. She's been a good leader today as Pip. She's been fantastic.
Oh, she's been excellent. Really good performance. Bryony King receiving a real good round of applause as well from the home spectators. It's pretty good in number and pretty loud in voice as well.
Who, Pip?
I was talking about the support actually.
But the support? I was joking with you there, but I know he said, no, we've got a decent crowd on, to be fair.
Yeah, it's good play and good all round, to be honest. Really enjoying the afternoon in Colwyn Bay. Storm Cobain is tackled, one of the try scorers this afternoon, of course, as McCusker gets it back to Greenwood. Greenwood lofts this one high. It's a real tester for Burnell, who does really well. And they're offside, Ireland.
Yeah, Iona, unfortunately, was about 5 yards in front of Stacey there. Again, a little bit of naiveness.
And another quick tap taken. Here's Lewis picking away through the middle. Copley stands up to her in defence. Remember, Wales down by 4 points in this first international for the Irish women's side. This is international number 4 for Wales. Oh, this is a great piece of play with Fionn Jones. She's been magnificent as Jones in the middle of the field. A touch judges run on.
Yeah, I think Claudia Dunn might have gone straight through and took out her opposition there.
Yeah, he certainly spotted something. It is going to result in a penalty.
Yeah, tackled her late.
This time, just ticking on.
That's a big 10.
Carrie Smash taps. Now it's out with Lewis, who finds Burnell. Burnell unable to escape the clutches there of Dunn. 22 metres out from the line are Wales. Into the middle it comes again with Fionn Jones. Super run, well stopped. 15 metres out from the line now. The rocking here are Ireland. Is that obstruction? Lewis keeps the ball moving, out to Norkit. Norkit, ice for the line. Just held sharp.
Fionn Lewis is down with cramp.
Marsh has the ball knocked from a grasp. It's play on though. Here's Greenwood, wishing for somebody to tackle her. Help. It was almost a case of bringing out an iron lung there.
She said beep beep before.
That was more all the air out of the tyres then. Someone give her a breather.
She's not happy with somebody though. She's had a whinge there.
Costello doing well for Ireland.
Stacey Greenwood's been fantastic for Ireland.
As I've said, there's been heroes right across the park for both sides. Lovejoy with a strong carry.
Oh,
Cusker
penalty.
Turns the ball left. There was definitely a player in the ruck.
Great kick.
Kick coming in from Alex McGuinness. Oh, look at the chase on this.
Oh.
And somehow Ellery Michael gets there first.
I think you can see the clear tactic from Ireland there in the last 20, can't you?
Kick it out that way.
Kick it out to the corners, yeah, and let your speedy backs get to it. Everybody will be tired after 60 minutes.
It's another carry out of dummy half from Goff Walters. Gets the ball back under a bit of pressure. Manages to put her own players under a bit of pressure too with the offload. Still, we play on with Wales in possession. Sarah Jones can't get away from dummy half. Carrie Smash, long ball left. Lewis picks up Burnell, puts the brakes on. Ducks past the couple, still going Burnell. Put down just over her own 40-metre line. It's a good containment set, this one. Copley's retreating back. Kick comes in.
Safety first.
Oh,
well,
great take. Roisin Crowe with the catch. Now she launches the counter-attack. Gets round one, gets pound two. Can't get past the third tackler.
That's the furthest away from the touchline you can get, David. I think she's learnt a lesson from her last carry.
Yeah, she got put in touch last time.
Go on, Alex.
Alex McGuinness through the middle.
Great yards, Alex.
Lovely work from her. 40 metres away from the line. McCusker at dummy half. Cute pass for Lovejoy. Lovejoy surges on towards that 20. Marshy struggling in the background. He comes left to Paige Costello. Goes further wide to Steph Carroll. Carroll still going, and still going, and still going, and Carroll all the way. Has she got there? No, she hasn't. Just shy of the line. McCusker wanting this ball to be played quickly. Shuffles it into the hands of Greenwood. Low ball, and they are in this time, Ireland. Alex McGuinness at the side of the post, piercing through the defence. What good play.
Oh, it's that simple play again. Stacey's so smart. She's lined her up straight away. Where's my runner? Where's my runner? I'm bouncing before she's even passed the ball. I could see the gap just opened up, Dave. It was fantastic. Great play off Stacey Greenwood. Great try off Alex McGuinness.
And just enjoy this. What a pass again. She's come out with two real quality passes there, Greenwood. And like you said, the simple plays, there's nothing really complicated about it, is there?
Yeah, you don't need to be the fastest person in this world to make your team tick. When you've got the knowledge up there and you've got the pass, it's fantastic. That's great.
Well, we can certainly see two Welsh players down, receiving attention, getting patched up.
I mean, with the exception of the teams that played last week in the grand finals, a lot of these girls wouldn't have played for quite a few weeks. You know, I think Pip Birchall was saying, you know, that's great for them. They've got through to the grand final. They've been active. But a lot of girls have just done nothing.
Yeah.
So there will be cramp.
It's been such a brave effort from every one of these players that have taken the field this afternoon. What a game they've given us.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic competition today.
We've got 74 minutes on our clock, but remember, we're in the hands of timekeepers. In comes the kicker. And the flags are raised.
Try scorer, turn kicker.
McGuinness with the goal kick, yep. 26 points to 16 now in favour of Ireland.
He's brought McCusker off already. She must be injured.
I know we'll keep harking back to this, you know, Cardiff Demons final, but they were in a similar sort of position to this with a similar sort of time left on the clock against the Army.
I'm not giving anything a commentator's cuss anymore, David. You should know that.
I wasn't even asking you for comments. I'm just saying, don't go switching off, because I tell you what, you can't take your eyes off some of these Welsh players. And who knows, there could be another chapter to write for this Ireland side as McGuinness attacks that ball and makes some great yards up past the 30.
Alex has been great since she's come on. She's gone forward. That's what she's done. That's what you need. When your forwards are tired, you need a half to come on and just get some yards for you.
There's Roisin Crowe again. Into dummy half goes Erin Coll. Another one of those Dublin City exiles. Strong running from Steph Carroll. She's threatened a couple of times to get through, hasn't she?
Yeah, Steph does really well in the domestic comp back in Ireland. She scores tries for fun, but she's been well contained today. But she'll be cursing that she's not got on the score sheet. She'll be hunting.
Quinn being asked to do a very different job to the one that she has at Lee Miners Rangers, but doing it superbly this afternoon. Greenwood Star of the show so far from mine.
Oh, by a country mile for me.
Put down on the 20-metre line is McGuinness as it comes right to Greenwood. She's picking a spot where this one's going.
Oops.
I think it was a bit further forward than that, but Norkit attacks it and grabs hold of it for Wales.
I mean, Mark will be going getting in the corners now. No need for height. Let's get stuff in the corners and slow the clock.
That's a powerful surge forward. Really good yards from Wales. Quick play the ball to Marsh, who finds Lewis, who brings it on to Fionn Jones. Jones, destructive running, pops the ball out as well. It's amongst the back line. There's Sarah Jones on the right-hand side.
I like that there. Ray Lawless is running back. She's pointing. She didn't want to commit. She's getting someone else to cover with her.
And they'll go direct out of dummy half again. Goff Walters to the edge of the 20. Marsh goes down the blind side. There's Michael. Try score in the first half. Gets past 2. She's not escaping the clutches of Quinn.
No, Mairead's got her wrapped up there. Well and good.
Inside the 10. Last tackle has been signalled. It comes back to Lewis, who ducks down the right-hand side. Slides a grubber kick through. I think there's a bit too much on that, but it's been taken out of play. It's going to be a dropout. My initial thoughts on that was that there was a little bit too much on it.
Yeah, I think it would have gone dead, but, you know, safety first. What's the point in letting it bounce backwards and them score a try?
I suppose they've got 10 points to play with as well, haven't they, at this stage?
Yeah, you can't always say that, though, David. 10 points goes nowhere. They're definitely all feeling the pressure now with the tiredness. There's a lot of tired legs out there.
To be fair, it's been played at a quick pace, this game.
It has. I think this is what happens when you take out the scrums. You see, scrums are a time to get a little bit of oxygen in your body, but when you just tap and go again, you know, play the ball and you're off, it takes it out of you. See? No.
Yeah, still.
Clock's off.
We've got 2 players down receiving attention for cramp. But like you were saying, it's been weeks, hasn't it, for a lot of these players since they've played.
Yeah, feel sorry for them in a slight respect, but I appreciate them for giving us a great competition today, a great game.
So we will be back underway in just a couple of seconds' time. Dropout comes in from McGuinness. It bounces up favourably for Burnell. He goes straight through the middle. And we'll be counting her ribs after that hit from Quinn. 15 metres out from the line here, Wales. Know that they have to score and add 2 tries. Charlie Mundy takes that carry to the 10-metre mark. Marshall turning down this left-hand side. Here's Lewis again. Definitely been the bright spark in the Welsh performance. Marsh. Onward rushes Emily Hughes.
She's played well.
Brave defence on the London Broncos forward. Can they set something up here, Wales? It comes into the middle. Jones put under all kinds of pressure. Wrapped up by 3. There's a real lack of numbers for Ireland down that left-hand side.
Yep, I think they're getting suckered in a little bit. They've got to speak a little bit better.
Here's Lewis, perhaps held onto it too much, but it's come off Copley. Picked up by Wales.
Unlucky again, that's the 3rd set back-to-back, I think.
All on waves our match official. 5 metres out from the line. Here come the Welsh attack. Joanne Maguire put down 5 metres from the posts.
I think Frank Copley's down injured as well. Yeah.
And the referee has stopped the game. He spotted that one.
Yeah, she scuffed at the ball and then got hammered in contact, didn't she, when she was going down? So she's tough. She'll get up. Just looking at them clouds on the horizon. We've done well not to get any rain today as well.
We have, to be fair. When I got here just after 12:30, it was looking like it was going to rain a little bit.
Been a lovely day, great day.
Marsh turns this ball left.
That's a good tackle.
Lovejoy. Initial contact, superb. It'll be pushed left to Lewis. Lewis for Mundy. Mundy gets it out. Here's Norkit. Norkit to the line. Norkit crosses. We've got a game on again into the last few minutes. Lowry Norkit scoring her second try of the game. You can add that to her 14 tries that she scored domestically. She's been unplayable at times.
Yeah, I only said at the start of the half, didn't I? That the half time, that the anti-attack down the left edge, and then up they come. They've been down this edge a few times, and there you go, result.
Superb offload from Charlie Mundy in contact as well. Norkit getting through. 20 points to 26.
So young Pip's walked off. She's not fit. She's done really well. She's run her little socks off today. Got Storm Gawain coming back on for Ireland.
The ground falls silent for
It's
Lewis.
important for Wales.
Can she get it on target? No, she scuffed it. No chance of an extra 2 points there.
She was unhappy with that. She nearly hit the carrier in the face with the tee.
Yeah, she flung the tee in disgust, didn't she?
Yeah, well, it's 26-20, you see.
Birchall has hobbled off.
What happens if it's a draw, Dave?
I don't know. I was hoping you could tell me as team manager of Ireland.
International, it's a draw.
A draw's not a bad result.
It would be a fair one. I think we've had two exceptional halves on play today. I think Fionn Lewis and Stacey Greenwood have been the standout players for both sides, for each side, to be fair. Hard to put a label on one of them for being the player of the match.
Obviously, we've ticked beyond the 80-minute mark, but we have got time to play. We're in the hands of the timekeeper. Ireland will be wishing for the final hooter as McGuinness gets us back underway, and that's scuffed the turf. Picked up by Burnell, who takes it straight up the guts. Gets over the 30-metre line. Marsh brings it right. There's Fionn Jones. She's been excellent.
Marsh gone to 9 now, if you notice. It's a natural position for her.
Pass left for Lewis. Keeps it moving to Mundy. No offload on this occasion, but they're over halfway, Wales. Down by 6 points. Clock ticking down. Big charge, Emily Hughes. 32 metres away from the line. It's played to Marsh, who ducks down the right. Good ball. Out to Sarah Jones. Salter with the pass it was. Back to Lewis. Lewis goes to the boot. Kicks it into space. It's allowed to bounce. Crow picks it up well. Does really well, does Crow. And keeps going. And gets it outside the 20. And pumps her legs to get 25 out from her own line.
That is just what you want when you're on the back foot and you're on your knees. Get a little winger, get up the pitch.
What character. Brilliant character on show by this Irish side. Lambert plays it. Copley picks up out of dummy half. Tough as teak. Brushes away from one. Wrestled down. 45 out from her own line. Infield it comes to Storm Cobain. Ball stolen, is it? No, not. There's a knock on.
Yeah, clipped in contact. You've got to keep control of your own ball there. It's a knock on.
3 minutes is the call on the field.
Wow.
That's an age.
I've grown a full beard by that point, Dave. We've got a few grey hairs.
We've got time for 3 tries if they go at it.
That was a bad play of the ball. He's let that go.
Lewis to Burnell. She's not had the rub of the green in this game as Burnell being able to burst through the gap. Here's Marsh. Good tackle.
Great tackle, Storm.
Storm Cobain coming up with a crucial play there. Here's Burnell. Gets away from Cobain. Up to the 20. To the left-hand side it's moved. Fionn Jones.
Crossing again.
Runs behind Mundy. Links with Norkit. Norkit out to the winger on this side, which is Rebecca Davis. 2 metres out to the line. Picked up by Lewis. Has she got in? She has, you know. The Welsh skipper has done it. She's gone in. Wales racing to celebrate. The kick still to come. There's still time on the board.
Yeah, I think there's some dispute though. Stacey Green was not happy. She's remonstrating, I think, with the referee. Is the best way to say it. But I couldn't see.
Well, I said she's a player for the occasion, is Lewis. Just kept herself really low. Referee straight away awarded it.
The only thing I'm disappointed in is twice now they've scored twice down this edge and twice they've crossed, and he's not pinged it.
Catherine Salter, meanwhile, has grabbed the kicking tee for this
special teams. This I didn't see her on the pitch. They brought her on while we've been watching.
No, she has been on. She was involved in a couple of plays just before. I like your thought, though. If only we could do that in rugby league. You've just got your special teams like American football. Refs ended up having to go for this ball for the conversion attempt.
Shall I tell the funny tale about the referee, Mr. Luke Fenton? First met him about 7 years ago. And I think if he got his one out, then that watch would have come back. He picked up a broom. He was referee in Scotland against England Community Lions. And he picked up this broom and he had a big beard. And I turned around, I thought he was Harry Potter. I've got it on my socials to prove.
Perhaps we can say it's been a magical performance from the referee then.
Boom, boom. He's here all week.
I was thinking about that one, you could tell. I needed the thinking time. So we'll wait on this to see whether it's going to get kicked. And then we'll turn to your player of the game. Salter taking all the time in the world. No, she needs good contact.
Nope.
And it's not going to be a goal.
That's
and the hooter sounds.
Yes.
It's full time. It's victory for Ireland by 26 points to 24. Stuart, I know you'll love to run down there and celebrate with your team, but give us your player of the game.
Listen, it's got to be Stacey Greenwood all day long. I don't want to call her the old campaigner because she's not. She's a classic, great footballer. I think she's led our team around the park. She's passionate, she's skillful. She's set up the majority of our plays, and she gave us the win, basically. And every credit to every girl what's been on that park today. I think they've done Ireland proud. I think the game's been fantastic.
What a start to the Rugby League story for Ireland.
Oh, and I was present, and you was as well again, Dave.
History. It brings us together, mate. Let's have a look at all these tries for the second half. So this is the first. Stacey Greenwood, the run before that was superb, to be fair. And then she gets the penalty for a high tackle. Runs to where the referee's marking it. Yep. Taps it.
See ya.
See you later.
Paused in time.
Under the post. It was a bit quicker than that in normal time.
It was. I think the Gremlins finally got our broadcaster here.
Then we saw Lewis doing likewise, quick tap. I said before in commentary, I've not seen a quick tap penalty taken in about 4 years, and we've seen 3 in this game.
Stacey's educated Wales today as well, and she's educated Fiam. This is another good try. This is a well-worked try, this.
Yeah, this is again Greenwood at the heart of it. What a ball! Storm Cobain, straight through.
Get to the post, get your centre, get your middle, half-back, pick them.
Wales wouldn't go away. Lovely step from Lewis.
Yeah, she has been Wales' outstanding player.
Hat-trick she scored today, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, could quite easily give her the player of the match.
And then this again. Greenwood at the fulcrum of it. What a ball for Alex McGuinness. Yeah. Brave run from McGuinness as well, because had that tackle gone wrong in the other direction,
yeah,
she would have got clattered, wouldn't she?
Yeah, and we would have been beat.
To this left-hand side. Mundy getting the ball out. Norkic showing her try-scoring prowess once again. And then there was Davis being tackled short. Lewis kept herself low, drove for the line and touchdown.
They weren't happy about that, the Irish girls, but that was time at that point.
And it's finished here 26 points to 24 in favour of Ireland. An historic afternoon. It's been great to be here on behalf of our league. My thanks go to Terry Gorman for all his efforts behind the scenes, and to you back home for joining us, and to you as well, Stuart. Great being alongside you again, sir.
Thanks for having the pie here so long, Dave. It's been a very enjoyable day. Thank you.
I'll go and let you celebrate with your team now.
Oh yes, I'm off.
And we'll sign off in the knowledge that Ireland, it was going to be an historic day either way for the Irish side, but they've claimed the victory, 26 points to 24. Join us again in future for our league, but for now, it's Dave Parkinson signing off here.